Doesn't take long to see I was born a little different. Some people may think I'm disabled. I don't think so. I've always been able to accomplish what I've set out to do. Some have called me inspiring, and if I am, I'm not alone. Tonight, we want to introduce you to some courageous people who at one moment were just like you, and the next faced with impossible odds and came out stronger on the other side. I'm Kyle Maynard, and this is No Excuses.
Before September 2003, the Gale family had a picture-perfect life, a life that was filled with family and friends. Gip Gale was a popular student who played wide receiver on the high school football team and shortstop on the baseball field. An All-American kid at 19, he was just beginning his college career, but all that would change in an instant.
Richard had gotten a call from the Vidalia sheriff.
Your son's been in a bad accident.
At first we hear, yeah, he got in an accident, and then we hear he got shot in a hunting accident. Then we hear he got shot in the head in a hunting accident.
They life flighted him to Savannah. And I said, is he okay? And he said, I don't know.
I said, Sheriff, please, I'm going to ask you as a dad, please, is my son still alive? And he said, Mr. Gale, he left here, he was still alive.
Gip has always been an avid outdoorsman and continues to love nature and sports. I took Gip back to the woods and asked him about that fateful day.
Yeah, it was quiet, just beautiful, clear sky. I had driven a friend down to Vidalia, Georgia to pick up his truck, and he invited me to go dove hunting on his uncle's farm while we were down there.
Gip and his friends set out early in the morning. The guys were excited to get started, and they found the ideal location in an isolated field on the farm. They positioned themselves, Gip to his left, his friend to the right, 26 feet away. A flock of doves flew up behind Gip.
Do you remember anything after that?
That's the last thing I remember, is seeing the doves flying.
Then, the unthinkable happened. Gip had been shot in the head from 26 feet away with a 12-gauge shotgun. No one expected him to live. Dr. Donald Leslie, the medical director of the Shepherd Center in Atlanta, Georgia, remembers when Gip first arrived.
I'm told that a young man has been shot point blank with a high-powered shotgun. I'm initially amazed that he's still alive, but I didn't know much more than that.
I called upon the expertise of Patrick Whittam, a New Jersey hunter education instructor, to explain how damaging a direct hit from a shotgun can be at close range.
Typically, the spread of a standard 12-gauge shotgun is measured at a distance of 40 yards, where 70% of the pellets hit in a 30-inch circle. The rest are scattered around the outside of that circle. Your friend Gip was hit at a distance of 26 feet. That's about 9 yards. If we back that target up, you're talking about those pellets hitting a 6-inch circle, traveling at over 1,200 feet per second.
To live through an impact of that magnitude was a miracle in itself, but Gip's road to recovery would still be a long and arduous one.
He had so many BBs and shots that were still showing inside of his face, that we didn't know if he'd ever be able to see again or ever hear again.
It literally blew away the skull and blew away portions of the brain.
During the first year of Gip's recovery, he slipped in and out of comas, slowing the process of his rehabilitation. He literally had to learn to do everything all over again: how to walk, how to talk, how to feed himself. Unbelievably, signs of the old Gip and his sense of humor began to show through.
One of the nurses came running out and said, he's responding, he's waking up, he's waking up.
Gip's dad asked him, Gip, if you can hear me, hold up, move your fingers, move your hand.
And he held up his 2 fingers, the index finger, and they said, well, okay, Gip, that's great. Now, can you hold up just 1 finger? And of course he did, and he dropped his index finger, and that left his middle finger. And
I said, Gip, could you just flip your mom off? And he gave me a thumbs up sign.
That was the most glorious sign. ever that he still had his sense of humor.
Gip was only at the beginning of an incredibly long, hard road to recovery. The Gale family received support from all over the country. Friends all wanted to do anything they could. And an unexpected friend was found in comedian Jeff Foxworthy.
2 years ago, September 6th, Gip accidentally got shot in the head. Gip was wearing a hat when he got shot that I had signed for a Young Life auction.
And he wore that when he was hunting because it was his lucky cat.
I had signed the hat. When Gip got shot, the only thing that's left is the Y on the end of my name. And you can't even see the signature anymore. There's just a big hole there. Chuck Scott, the Young Life leader, asked Gip, Gip, what can I do for you? And he goes, I sure would like another hat. And Chuck was like, well, I bet we could probably get you another one. We took him box loads of stuff, and I said, but I don't want to just send it. I want to go meet him.
He re-signed Gip's hat, and then he signed another one, and he wrote, do not shoot this hat. Jeff Foxworthy.
With mounting medical bills and the loss of their medical insurance, Jeff Foxworthy felt he needed to do something more for the Gales.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome my friend Gip Gale up here.
He organized a benefit concert in honor of Gip. And to show off his new redneck joke.
He's talking. So we ran in there, and I leaned over to him, and I said, it's Mom, I love you. And I know he's gonna say, I love you, Mom, and he says, how's Yeller? And Yeller is our dog.
If the first thing you said when you came out of a coma was, how's my dog? By the way, Gip Gale really did that. Gip Gale was in a coma, and the first thing he said when he came out of it was, how's my dog? Which just touches my heart, and he will forever be in the Redneck Hall of Fame for that.
Gip is still working on getting his life back to normal. He's gotten his driver's license back and gone back to college on the Hope State Scholarship. He's been parasailing, playing volleyball, and of course, he's back to hunting again. He still spends a lot of time at the Shepherd Center, but not as a patient.
Gip knows that he has an obligation to share his story with people, to let people know that there is hope out there.
I go over to Shepherd Center and see patients there. I hope that it helps them to see me and see that they can get back to their lives.
If they can walk in the unit, as he does frequently, and goes back and says, hi, I'm Gip Gale. I was a patient here. I was in this same bed you were. I was here for 4 or 5 months, and look at me now. I'm doing okay. You can do it too.
I would have loved to have had a Gip Gale walk in the hospital room when we were in the depths of despair and be able to see the hope.
Now, I can talk all day to these patients and these families, and I think they listen to me basically. But when he walks in and says, I've been there, I've done that, they really listen to him. It means a lot to them. It means a lot to me, too.
What's been the biggest change in your life and the way that you approach living life every day?
Well, now I don't take for granted waking up every day and being able to walk out of my bed, go out the door. I'm going back to school now.
If you had one thing to say to someone going through an insurmountable obstacle, what would that be?
To fight hard and be a survivor.
What's the next step in your life?
Well, I really hope to help other people through my story because God gave me a second chance, and I enjoy my life more now than ever, really.
Gip's come a long way, but his battle is far from over. He's a reminder to us to never give up. Whatever comes your way, don't give in. Be brave and believe in yourself. I'm Kyle Maynard. Remember, no excuses.
Saturday, I'm running wild.